We are the Assessment Visualizer team. Luke worked on the front end and back end, Kenzie and Steven created the visualization and the front end, June was in charge of the back end and data collection. The Assessment Visualizer is a web application that shows the state of learning outcomes and learning frameworks within the University of Utah. Learning outcomes are an important metric that is used to document and improve student learning at a department and program level. The newly introduced learning frameworks are part of the continued effort by the Office of Undergraduate Studies to ensure that all students obtain a well-rounded education. ELOs, or Expected Learning Outcomes, are used for both internal learning outcome assessment plans and are a central part of the university accreditation process. This involves the University of Utah undergoing an evaluation every 7 years, during which they must show well-defined educational objectives and evidence of their accomplishment. The Assessment Visualizer is a tool that is designed to improve the understanding of these metrics and replace time-consuming spreadsheets with simple-to-use visualizations. Our system shows the relationships between courses and learning outcomes within a program, while also providing a way to track learning frameworks across programs, departments, or even colleges.
Hi, my name is Mark St. Andre, and I work in undergraduate studies, and I'm one of the sponsors for the Assessment Visualizer team. I wanted to tell you a couple reasons why we think this product is going to be so useful to us. First of all, it's going to allow departments to look across the university and just see information about learning outcomes. Right now, they would have to go in, open up an assessment plan and dig through it and look. But in this way, once we have all of the learning outcome data in there, they're going to be able to just visualize and see, oh, here's mechanical engineering, here's their outcomes, here's the courses they're related to, and just be able to see those relationships. The other thing that it will allow us to do is to visualize the learning framework. So the learning framework are the 4 big goals that the university wants students to accomplish while they're here. Being in the community, knowledge and skills, transformation, and impact, having an impact. And we're trying to get departments to have outcomes that are related to each of those big dimensions. And so by integrating that information into the visualizer, we can start to look at outcomes and then also look at how outcomes are meeting the learning framework. This is important too because the university's accreditation is happening a year from this fall, and that's a review of our whole university and how we're doing. And one of the big things they wanted us to do last time is to have big goals for students at the university that we're trying to accomplish. And so the learning framework was created for that reason. And so having this visualizer, being able to show that information and the fact that we're working on it and having these conversations and writing outcomes to accomplish it will be terrific.
For this video, we have prepared a brief demonstration of our system. Let's look at the use case of an accreditor. As an accreditor, our goal will be to determine how well the Applied Positive Psychology program meets the community learning framework. As we do so, we will be able to see many of the features of the Assessment Visualizer, including learning outcome visualization, navigation and filtering, the framework graph, and the outcome map.
As an accreditor, when I first visit the Assessment Visualizer, I can choose to view an interactive tutorial which will introduce me to the system and explain how the visualization works and how I can interact with the app to navigate around the university and find specific data which I'm interested in. I'm interested in learning more about how the College of Education is doing with respect to its expected learning outcomes. Now I can see a visualization which shows all of the departments, programs, courses, and learning outcomes. Here on the right, I can see a bar chart which shows how many learning outcomes are associated with university-level categories called learning frameworks. Let's focus more on a particular department. Now I can see the Department of Educational Psychology's programs, courses, and learning outcomes. To iterate over different aspects of this, I can select from the drop-down menu. Here I'm clicking on a course to see more detailed information about it and its expected learning outcomes. To iterate over learning outcomes, I can similarly select learning outcomes from the drop-down menu. To focus on learning frameworks, similarly, if I wanted to focus on which courses are associated with the community framework, I can click on the community selection here. Now I can see which courses are associated with the community learning framework. To focus on a particular program, I can select from the visualization itself or from the sidebar. I'm interested in learning which courses are associated with the community framework in this program. So I'll click on the community learning framework. Now I can see a list of all the courses associated with this framework. I'm interested in downloading a report of this program. So I'll click on this course map to see a tabular layout of the data and choose to download the information as a CSV file. Overall, this visualization provides an easy way to navigate across the university and assess how it is doing with respect to its expected learning outcomes.
The Assessment Visualizer consists of an ASP.NET Core Web API and web app, which are hosted on Microsoft Azure instances with an SQL database. The backend is written in C#, the front end is JavaScript, leveraging the d3.js library to make the interactive visualization components. During development, we employed agile practices, meeting as a team bi-weekly to plan and assign tasks and to code review pull requests. As a team, we completed over 170 issues as tracked by our GitLab boards and generated nearly 150 commits over the course of our 16-week development. In addition to our codebase, we published 10 of our backend API endpoints as a Swagger page and built a small testing suite for the backend. Along with our team meetings, we met weekly with our sponsors during development and conducted user studies with university faculty. Using the feedback from these meetings, we redesigned elements like the sidebar and visualization to improve the user experience, modified the way data is displayed to match university standards, and added completely new features like the tutorial and framework graph. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to learn more or see the Assessment Visualizer in action, you can go to assessmentvisualizer.azurewebsites.net.